mission today, and it's Spoils of War. So there's 6 objectives on the table in this abandoned, what looks to be some sort of mining facility. We've got 1 objective here, 1 in the shadow of this building, 1 directly in the centre of the board. I've got another one on that side of the wall. I've got 1 on the hill and 1 just in the twisted corpse there. It's there we go. So it's a battle of the ages, 2 ancient armies going at it, 2 powerhouses. The deployment setup is hammer and anvil, so it's end to end. And we're going to see if we can introduce the new Death from the Skies rules in this game. With 2,500 points of Craft World Eldar, we're using a Warhost detachment, and in the Guardian Warhost, all of the things like you'd expect. We've got 3 units of Guardians, and they have everything that you see them with. There is the battery, false battery. We've got 2 wall walkers and just 1 fighter. We have a aspect warhost, so we've got a full unit of Dire Avengers, and they have a dedicated Wave Serpent, and we've got Howler Banshees and Striking Scorpions. And for the auxiliaries we have a Wraith Knight, of course, and the Avatar of Cain. And we have an allied detachment, sorry, not an allied detachment, it's a combined arms detachment, got that right this time. Okay, so we've got the HQ, which is the Farseer, and he's got a troop unit for the jet bikes. These just have the shuriken catapults, shock horror to many, I'm sure. We've got another HQ, it's the Spirit Seer, and he's with his Wraith Guard. The extra troops choice is the I'll get it, it's the Rangers, there we go. And the Raids have a dedicated Wave Serpent. The Warlord for the whole army is the Farseer on foot, and he's got the Spirits, no sorry, this one's got the Spirit Stones, he's just got the Singing Spear. We'll also have a Crimson Hunter in the fast attack. So we're using the new Death from the Skies rules, so we're going to see how those play out. This is a very competent dogfighter on paper, so we'll see how that plays out against the Necrons.
Right, we've got a 2,500 point Necron Decurion detachment. It consists of a Reclamation Legion. In the Reclamation Legion we have an Overlord. He has a Resurrection Orb, and his weapon is a Void Reaper. We have 20 warriors in 1 unit, and we have 2 more units of warriors, 10 in each, and they are each in a Ghost Arc. And then we have 2 units of 5 Immortals, and a unit of 3 Tomb Blades. And we have a Gnotep Harvest, and we have a Spider, and 6 Wraiths with recoils, and 6 Scarabs. Then we have an Annihilation Nexus consisting of 2 Annihilation Barges and the Doomsday Ark. And the Star God is the Citan Shard of the Nightbringer. And then we have a Flyer Wing, 2 Night Sides, and one of them's a Wing Leader. Hoping at all costs to avoid a dogfight, because we don't want to start with 1 down, but let's just see the arms there.
both sides have deployed now. We've got the Eldar on this side of the board, and they're set up second, so Necrons are going first at the moment. So they're all set up right on the deployment line, and everyone is ready to go. Close that distance as fast as possible. The Necrons en masse are largely a 24-inch range army. That's when they can be effective, so the Eldar have deployed just out of that range. Deployed roughly most of them 30 inches away, just to account for the first move as well. So Eldar trying to negate as much firepower on the first turn as possible. We're using the new dogfight rules, so we're going to roll to see if we can get a dogfight going. So it's a straight roll off. The Eldar get a 5,
Necrons
get a 6. So it is your choice whether you want a dogfight. So we're going for a dogfight after much thought.
Well,
right, so
just for the hell of it.
Okay, then we'll
just for the sake of doing it.
we'll place the flyers down, and then we'll see if it was worth it. Crimson Hunter wins the maneuver fight subphase, so the Necron flyer has been outmaneuvered. We came in on the side of it, and now it's time to open up with the guns. Okay, so the attack phase is now going to be underway. It's secret dice again, so the Eldar have picked number 3 on the chart again, and the Necrons have chosen a 3 again, so it's the prescience of the Eldar is paying off, and the Necrons every move here, so it's the
Attacker shoots first.
Attacker shoots first. So there's no way that Necron flyer can jink, because it did not win the maneuver phase. So what we've got is 2 pulse lasers in black and 2 bright lancers in green on these dice. So they are on full ballistic skill because we've got the angle to get full ballistic skill. So they all hit. This is going to be painful stuff, because this Crimson Hunter re-rolls like Tank Hunter against flyers. So they all pen, aside from that 4, and that is 8 plus 30. Yeah, so it's 3 pens, 1 glance. The Necron flyer has been shot down in the early stages. Now we'll consult the table to see if it crash lands behind enemy lines. On a 1.
On a 1 it crashes in friendly territory.
Oh.
The enemy player.
So the Necron Night Scythe has been shot down. As it's coming down, it's going to land behind enemy lines. It's been placed there, so it needs to scatter. And that's going to be a massive scatter, 10 inches over to the Lord's unit. So 5 warriors, going to take 5 strength 6 hits. Oh, so just 2 wounds, 7 on armor, and 4. So there's 1 need to reanimate, and he does. So no casualties, but the flyer goes down, and that's first blood to the Eldar in the dogfight, the very first of its kind in our circle anyway. So it's now another important dice roll. It's do the Eldar steal the initiative. No, it's a 1. So the Eldar flyer, manoeuvres off the board and comes into reserve the next time, and the Necrons get their first turn now. Necrons have their first turn. They've all advanced. A lot of runs on this side of the board. A very good run from the Wraiths. They went 6 inches, and they're closing the distance on the Eldar lines here. They need to be stopped. They are vicious. The Lord's unit, they've ran up in the middle of the table, and these vehicles on this side have went flat out or just 12, so there's a lot of snap fire on that table edge, should we say, and there is some firing to do, so we'll have a look at what the Necrons can pull out in their turn for shooting. So the Necrons have their shooting phase. The Annihilation barges on this side fires at the knight, no damage. This barge in the window, he fires into the Avatar and manages a wound, so the Avatar's taking his first wound. He often gives them up for free. And the Doomsday Arc, right in the corner of the board there, fired on the Avatar, and then he made up for that. He rolled a 1 to wound, so strength 10, roll the 1, he gets away scot-free.
We did pick up 2 objectives on objective 1 there, secure objective 1 twice.
Okay, so that's a good round for the Necrons, 2 victory points in the bag already. So it's now on the Eldar movement phase. Let's see if we can take a load of Wraiths out, because that's the only way we're going to stop the attack on this side of the board. So Eldar have their movement phase. The Wraith Knight steps back, you just want to get in a tangle with all that Goss weaponry. We've also had our Psychic phase as well, so everyone on this side of the board is advanced. The Warlock on the jet bike, he's cast a lot of powers in this direction. The Avatar's got Fortune, and these have been doomed, and they have their strength taken down by 1. And the Wraith Knight, he's got Guide on him. So the Eldar try to stack the odds as much as they can to have a good turn of shooting, try and really punish the Necrons on this side of the board, because the threat is imminent. And so the Scorpions who infiltrated in this building have moved up to the top floor. They're going to try and make benefit of their cover save on a 2 because of their special rules for infiltrating. So it's all set up now for Eldar shooting. So we've got the Wraiths firing at the Necron Wraiths, so Wraith War, and because they're within 12 of the Spirit Seer, we're going to be hitting on 3s with a reroll of 1s. So they all hit. It's a good full house there. So these have got an invulnerable 3 save, so any 6s for destroyers, there's going to be some good news. Okay, so there's 1 6, there's 1 dead, and they are doomed, so we'll get a reroll that 1. Okay, so there's 1 is going to bite the dust, because there's no reanimations from destroyer weapons, and it's strength 10, so that's instant death. And there's going to need to be 4 invulnerable saves made. So they are made, so they've just lost 1 from the shooting phase for the Wraiths. The Avatar's going to have a go. He's hit, and he's wounded, and it's a save on a 3, so they continue. So there is 1 down, and we do have a pistol from the Spirit Seer. He has hit, and it's a 2, then he's going to need a 5, and no, even with the Doom reroll. So just 1 down in that exchange. The Wraith Knight does what he does best, he targets the Satan, who was lurking in this building, and to wound. We've got a 5 and a 6, so we'll just take his life straight away. The Eldar Vol's battery come in from the top and land all the barrage on the Scarab swarms that were just next to this Ghost Arc here, and just totally wiped out the whole unit. So it's a big blow for the Necrons. They were a good fast mover to try and take on these Wave Serpents. So the Eldar finished their shooting phase. Some shots on this side of the board, no damage done to the Necron units surrounding this building. The Scorpions are not going to open fire because they want to keep their shrouded special rule and stealth, so they're going to be a good healthy cover save in that building. We tried all we could to damage those wraiths and managed to wound and killed one with those D weapons, as we saw. So they're still in the fight, and the Wraith Knight just totally takes out the Satan with a 6 to wound. Instant 6 wounds on him, and it's just too much for him to handle, and he goes up in a dark cloud of smoke. So it's on to assaults now. So we've got the Avatar. He's got an 8-inch charge. Wraiths. He's failed. He does have fleet, so we're going to reroll that 1. And he's in on a 10. And we're also going to charge the Banshees. They are at a 12-inch distance. We do have a special rule which gives them a +3 to the dice roll. So, well, that's no good. That's a 3. So we're going to re-roll that. The 2 have fleet, and that is a 9. So that is actually enough. So we're going to fight the combat here. So the Avatar goes in. He's got a Hammer of Wrath attack at strength 6. So that is not enough, but they are doomed. That's still not enough. So initiative step 6 is the Exarch first. She's got 4 attacks thanks to Rage because of the Avatar. She's hitting on 3s. That's bad. And she's strength 6 because she's also got Furious Charge. And that's a wound. So need to save on a 3 on the Raid. So they save. And then we've got 4 attacks each from 4 Banshees in the unit. So these have +1 to the weapon skill on the aspect host formation. So these are hitting on 3s. So that's a okay roll. And now the hard part. These have Furious Charge thanks to the Avatar. So they're strength 4 against toughness 5. So we're needing 5s here. But we've got Doom, so we can reroll it. So that's a good roll. So we've got 9 wounds, and these invulnerable saves are going to save the bacon no doubt. So we've got 9 invulnerable saves to make. Wow, so there's 3 filled. And need to reanimate on 4s. So there's just a single wound dealt out. And now the Wraiths go at initiative step 5. The Avatar's having to go last because he hasn't got grenades and he's stuck his toe on that wall. Okay, so it's now the Wraiths' turn. There's 5 of them. They've got 3 attacks each.
So 3 on the Avatar.
Yeah. So these are hitting on 5s because he is a large weapon skill. No wound. And then 4 batches of 3 on the Banshees. So these are hitting on 4s. So that's not a very good, I suppose that's about average. Okay, and then these have taken the strength down by 1. So they're needing 3s. So there's 5 wounds. Still enough to cause problems for the Banshees. They only save on 4s. Here we go. Right, so there is 2 Banshees down. And the Avatar is now next to go. So these get removed. And her back up. She's in the good fight. Okay, so the Avatar's got 7 attacks on the charge. And he's hitting on 3s against these Wraiths. And these are strength 9. So he's got 4 hits. And he's wounding on 2s. And the Doom to reroll that one. So there's 4 wounds. Again, saving on 3s. And he's made them all. So that combat is just going to continue because the Avatar gives everyone within 12 fearless. So the Eldar haven't got the casualties that they needed from that squad, but they have been able to stop them in their advance. So Necron moving phase in turn 2, the Ghost Ark spits out 10 warriors here. They're going to look at getting into a tangle with this unit. Well, any unit on this side of the board. We've got the choice. Those ghost weapons can glance vehicles and put some good wounds on those raids. They are dangerous. The Ghost Ark moves back because the Eldar pulled secure objective 1. This is a game where you steal the objectives, so that's came back to clinch that one. The Overlord squad, they just move up the table. He's going to look to eventually get in range of the Wraith Knight. It's the Eldar's job to just dance around all this Gauss fire. And on this side of the board, things are moving into place now. The Immortals are moving on. The Ghost Ark's coming up. Going to get some shots. I think they're going to try and paste.
Yeah, the Scorpions are looking decidedly unhappy.
Yep. Well, let's roll some 2s then. Well, 2s are higher, right? I would like. And the Tomb Blades have moved up the board. They've got some nasty Strength 6 blasts. They're going to look to punish the Guardians, I think. And also a Necron Flyer has came on from reserve. And we're going to see where that goes because he hasn't actually put it on the board yet. But should put down some nasty firepower as well. So the Flyer is swooped on the board here, and no doubt that's going to try and take on the Wave Serpent. So let's see how Necrons do in their shooting phase in turn 2. So the Ghost Ark and its contents and the Immortals have all shot and rapid fired up at the Scorpions. They're able to kill 4. There's 2 remaining, and that's more than what I thought there was going to be. So he's going to try and finish the rest off with the Night Side. So there's 4 shots there, and the twin linked. So there's 4 wounds. 4 hits and 4 wounds. Yeah, so saving on 2s. So there's 1 wound. We're going to try and do a lookout on the Exarch. And he fails, so the Exarch is insta-killed from a Strength 7 weapon. That is a major blow for the Eldar. He's the only one who can clip the wings of these transport and vehicles in the back. So with 1 Scorpion remaining, he needs to kill this unit to get no prisoners. So there's another Annihilation Barge and another Tesla Destructor at that Scorpion, being given hell here. So hitting on 3s. So they all hit, and there's a 6 in there, so there's 6 hits. And there's a wound on 2s. Okay, there's them all. And again, see what he can do on these 2+ saves. And he finally succumbs, so there's the victory point given up. And the striking Scorpions are wiped out. The warrior unit shoots at the Wave Serpent. I would try to take our saves on the hollow field for any Gauss weapons, but you know, roll 4 6s. Who can predict that? And just knocks the Wave Serpent straight out. The Viper is jinking because he took a shot from the Doomsday Arc. Obviously, since he's still on the board, you can tell that he passed his jink save. So we've got a lot of casualties on the Guardians in the wood. So they have to take a morale check. They're on an 8, and they pass. So the combat is resolved. The Wraiths suffer a casualty, and 2 Banshees go down. So it's a tough fight here, and as long as the Eldar keep bringing the psychic powers forward, that could go on all game. Really, it's a really good round for Necrons for points. They've got secure objective 1 because it was in the Eldar's hand. So there's 1 point. They got Age of the Machine for knocking out the Wave Serpent, and no prisoners for the Scorpions who died. And there was it Supremacy? Supremacy for taking a lot of objectives. So very good round for the Necrons for points. Quite good for shooting as well. So it's up to the Eldar to actually get some victory points in, because nothing's going their way at the moment in the card department. Eldar turn 2, reserves come on, so the flyer has moved on the table. It's going to look to engage the night side. The war walkers are turned up from this side of the table. We're going to try and shoot some vehicles in the back from over here. And then we've got a sneaky move to make when they do the battle focus move. The Rangers came on from this side of the board and they ran. So they are in the, well, trying to take cover in the building, just getting out of the way. The Wave Serpent and the Guardian squad came on from reserve. So they both line up their Bright Lancers at that Ghost Arc. The Wraith Knights jump back, does not want to take on that Goss fire just yet anyway. And the raids are moving forward, going to look to get into some fray with these warriors. So the psychic powers have been already done. We did get Harness the Warp and we've got the full D3 and we rolled a 3, so there's much needed points for the Eldar. And everything of importance has came off, so the Avatar again, he's got reroll and failed saves. The raids themselves are doomed still, and they've also got -1 to the strength, so we really need to keep that going if we want to wrap them up for the necessary amount of time. Okay, so we're going to go on to shooting for the Eldar. It needs to be a good one because we need to start coming into the board and scoring some points, because Necrons are running away with it at the moment. So we've got the flyer now. He's going to be firing at the night side. Is the night side going to jink?
Yes.
Okay, so it's hitting on 2s because he's an Exarch in there. So there's all hits. The black ones are the pulse lasers. Not that that matters in this instance. So they all penetrate. You can re-roll a version of Tank Hunter in the sky. So there's 3 penetrations, 1 glance. Okay, so they all go through and it's going to crash and burn. Okay, so we've got the Guardian squad. They're going to fire the Bright Lance at the Ghost Arc. The Necrons have opted a jink. Hitting on 3. It's a 1. It's just a massive bluff. We're going to do the Wave Serpent at it as well. So we're going to do the Bright Lance. It's a hit. And that's no good. And none of the other weapons are really going to hurt it. So it lives on, but it is jinking. So the Wraith Knight, he's going to fire his 2D weapons into this building here where there's an Annihilation Barge. So he's got guide on him, so he's hitting on 3s. There's 2 hits, and Destroyer hits. Here we go. So there's 2 hits he's going to be able to get a cover save from, so 7 on 4s in hard cover. Both go through, that's good news, and it's a 6, so that's going to explode. So how far is the explosion? So no damage from the explosion in the building. The Tomb Blades and the Spider get away with it to prove too tough. The Wraith Knight scatter lasers do the job. They put 1 scatter laser on the wounded Annihilation Barge, he is history, and the Tomb Blades take the other one and they take it nicely. They're just too tough. And what else do we have? Yes, just some snap firing, and the Vol's Wrath artillery dropped a shell. It's scattered just slightly. Got 5 warriors, but they all just saved, as you'd expect from Necron warriors. So what we've got now is a charge here. So it should be just a short charge, and that'll do it. So they can overwatch, and we'll get that resolved. Okay, so the Wraith combat here, shoulder to shoulder Wraith combat. The Spirit Sea is going to go first. He's got initiative 5, but it's been boosted up to 6, and they've got an extra bit of weapon skill because of an empowerment. So they're hitting on 3s with the high weapon skill. So the Spirit Sea is hit with 2. He's got Fleshbane, wound on 2s. So there's 2 wounds. That one's need to save on 4s. Yep. So 1 gets through, needs to reanimate. Okay, so 1 goes down, and then we've got the Wraith Guard themselves. They've got 1 attack in the profile, 1 for charging. We'll have made them weapon skill 5, so these are hitting on 3s. So that is a good roll. And there's strength 5, so they're needing 3s again against Necron's toughness. That's not so good this time, so we've got 4, 5, 6 wounds, saving on 4s. Ooh, it's a bad roll this time for the Necrons. And reanimate. So 4 go down, getting excited about that. So there's 4 dead, there's only 2 left to fight. Sorry, there's 3 left to fight, there's a hidden one there. So leaving 4s. Missed. So they've all missed. Okay, so that's a victorious round from the Eldar in that one. And then we've got this combat over here. So the Avatar, he's got 5 attacks in his profile. And he's hitting on 3s. So he's hit with 4 of them. Hitting on 2s. And there's 3 wounds. So invulnerable 3s. So 2 fail this time. He's got 2 reanimations on 4s. And 1 wound. So unfortunately there is 1 in base to base without a wound, so he's going to take a wound. The Exarch is up next. She's got 2 attacks. She's hit twice. She's strength 5. And she's wounded twice. Excellent. And the inevitable. So the last Banshee to go, hit on 3s, was 1 hit, and in the 6, they are doomed. No, so they're just going to keep on going. Okay, so they've got their attacks back now.
6 against the Avatar.
6 against the Avatar. Okay, they need 5s because of their reduced weapon skill. No dice. And then you've got 2 on the Banshees, so there's 6 attacks coming in. Okay, so there's 2 hits. And needing 3s because your strength has went down, so the Banshees hang on. Excellent. Okay, so in this combat, the Necrons are down by... How many did we lose? 5. 5 went down for the Necrons here, so they're down to leadership 5. See if they can keep strong, and they can. So that's gonna continue. It's probably in the Eldar's favour in this combat. So it's a quiet turn on victory points for the Eldar. Just 3 scored from Harness the Warp. They're still not able to make any ground, really. But we are taking out some key units now. I think if we can just get something going in the next turn, we can score some points and perhaps catch up with the Necrons. So it's on to their turn 3 now. The Necrons moving phase. The Ghost Ark has moved all the way up onto the building. He's going to put some shots down in this region here. The Ghost Ark on this side of the board is spat out some warriors. Going to cause some damage, I'm very sure of it. And the Overlord's unit in the centre of the board, just dominating that centre line. Just cannot touch them really, they're just too hard. And just Tomb Blades doing what they do and just whip round the back, cause harassment. So it's onto the shooting phase for Necrons, and I've got a feeling it's going to be bad. Bad. The Overlord's unit in the shooting phase has opened up onto the Guardians, absolutely slaughtering them, down to 2 poor Guardians left. The Rangers took a wound from the Immortals on the other side of the wall, but now we've got this unit of warriors. They're going to rapid fire at the Wave Serpent. We're opting not to jink, we're going to try and take them on the hollow field saves. So there's 20 shots there, hitting on 3s. Oh dear. I don't think we've learnt our lesson from the last time. That we opted not to jink.
A lot of misses there.
A lot of misses, but it's only hearts in the mouth. So 6 is needed for these Goss weapons to kick in.
6s!
There we go, it's exactly the same result as before. There's 4 6s, and I'm going to need some 5s now. Here we are, come on, get some 5s. Still glanced to death. And the Dire Avengers and the Farseer are going to have to get out. So the Necron shooting phase is just as nasty as we thought. The Warriors just totally annihilate this, and then the Dire Avengers have to get out, surrounding it, and then he gets a direct hit with the Doomsday Arc to just get a line of sight and kills 5 Dire Avengers straight away. So that's they've passed the morale and they've passed the pinning, so it's a big blow for the Eldar on that side of the board. We've lost a lot of firepower, and it just looks like the Necron Immortals and Warriors on this side of the board are just going to the Immortals, they're going to charge in on the Scouts, so they're going to overwatch, and then we've got these combats over here to resolve. So the Rangers managed to stay out of combat. The Immortals fail on a double 1 through cover, and the combats over here get resolved. So the Wraith Guard unit, they finally kill the last 3 warriors. We're having doubts they could do it there, and the Avatar still locked in the combat. We're able to take down a Wraith, and the Wraith is in return take a Banshee away and put a wound on the Exarch. So that's going to continue. And the Necrons forgot to fire the Ghost Arc on top of the building at the Viper. We opted to jink, but he glanced at the death anyway. So it's on to Eldar turn 3 now. So Eldar have completed the movement phase. The Farseers left the unit and the jet bikes are going forward. The Wraith Knights finally decided to come forward. We're going to have to deal with the Overlord squad before it becomes a problem. And the Wraith Guard are going to try and take out the Spider. He's inside that building, so we'll have some unimpeded shot. And the Flies moved on. We're going to try and take out that nasty Doomsday Cannon. And the Warwalkers, again, they're going to try and hunt the back of these Necron vehicles on the far side. And then it's up to these measly units to try and deal with that Necron warrior squad there. So it's going to be touch and go over there. We've done the psychic powers as well, and as usual, everything has came off quite nicely this game. But the Wraith Knight, he's got Guide on him. Again, Avatar, he's got Fortune. The Wraiths are doomed. And most importantly, the one that we're really looking forward to is the Spirit Seer has drained the Warlord's units. So they're down by 1 on the weapon skill, which is going to be huge for what's going to come up, because the Wraith Knight is going in and the jet bikes, no doubt. So we're going to need to suffer as little shots from his Void Weaver as possible. It's got Flesh Bane and it's master crafted, and it can hurt the Wraith Knight quite bad if allowed, so we're trying not to allow it. So it's on to the shooting phase for the Eldar. Okay, Eldar completed their shooting phase. It was very, very disappointing. The flyer just fails to do anything to the Doomsday Ark. The walkers, they fire onto this machine and it survives everything. And this one survives D hits. But the spider, the kind of tech spider, cannot weather 5 D hits from the raids, so that is one of the best things of the turn. But the true heroes was loads and loads of scatter from the Vol's Wrath batteries. Were able to kill enough just to cause a morale check. They do drop back, only 2 inches, but that's going to give us psychological warfare, and it's going to have them snapfire next turn, so that is a load off. I think that's probably the best result in the turn so far. And it's on to charges, so we've got this conflict in the centre, so we'll see what happens here. So the bikes and the knight go in. The bikes go in first and survive a lot of overwatch. It's not what we expected. We actually want them to die, and this is the reason why we're going to issue a challenge with the warlock to take the overlord out of the combat so he can't hurt the knight. Because the aim of the game is we're going to try and cause as many casualties as we can on the warriors and try and sweep and advance them, but the more jet bikes we have, the less chance of that is happening. So we'll see how this goes. It hasn't worked perfectly, but it's worked to some degree, so can't be disappointed with that. So at initiative step 10, we've got a Hammer of Wrath from the Wraith Knight. He never gets it. And then we've got 3 jet bikes, so they need a 5. So there's 1. So 1 wound on a warrior. Okay, reanimate. Okay, he does. Right, so we've got the warlock in a challenge, and he's got 4 attacks even, because I've just noticed he's within 12 of the avatar, so he's going to get those benefits. So he's got 2 on his profile, extra weapon, 2 for charging because of rage, because of the avatar. So he's hitting on 3s, and he's got 2, and he's needing 2s because of flesh pain. So there's 2 wounds on the overlord. He needs a 3 save. So he takes a wound, and then he's got a reanimation of 4.
I'm going to use a resurrection orb.
Well, you don't have to declare just yet. So he's failed that. Are you going to use the orb then?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to re-roll that, and he comes away with that wound. And then the jet bikes are up next, so they've got a surprising amount of attacks thanks to the avatar. How many? Okay, so hitting on 3s because of their reduced weapon skill. It's not very good. Needing 4s because of Furious Charge, so there's 3 wounds. And reanimations. And reroll because of the orb. So there's 1 dead, yes, we've got that. Right, so next up is the Wraith Knight at initiative step 4. He's got 5 attacks, he's got 1 for charging. Just going to check the range of the avatar. It's close.
Yeah, he's in.
He's in, so he's going to get another bonus attack. Alright, so he's hitting on 3s. Oh. He's running on 2. Oh my god. 1 to reanimate on a 5 because it's instant death, and you reroll that. And he kills 1, so that is just ultra sad. And then it's the warriors to fight back. So do you want to do your
Necron load first?
Okay.
So 3 attacks?
Yep.
All hit? No.
No, he's got Mastercrafted.
4. So 3 hit.
2.
2.
Right, so the warlock has got
4s
to save because he's invulnerable, and he gets them. That's the first time he's ever got them all. He's got 1 more, and he makes it.
Oh, what a start!
So he heard us talking, and he did that for us.
So the rest of the warriors are pilot.
Yep. So you've got at least, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You could have 9 fighting the jet bikes. The rest are going to have to go on the knight, but they can't actually hurt the knight.
Well.
Actually, you could get a few more.
So we've got to fight 5 against the knight.
5 against the knight, and I think one of them.
2 are dead already, so that gives us 17. 5, that gives us 12 against the jet bike.
It's 12 attacks. Okay, so there's an okay amount of hits.
Yeah, 4's are not going to hit them.
Yeah, 4's hit.
4's hit.
Killing 4's. Okay, there's 2 wounds on the jet bike, 7 and 3's. And they make it so it's been such a quiet round for all those bodies.
These can't hurt that.
They can't hurt that, but
So
what's going to happen now is some stomp attacks. So how many stomps? He's got 2. So we'll put the first one on this, we'll put it on his shoulder. So what yield is the stomp? It's a 3, so that's strength 6 hits. And then the second one we'll put it, well, we need to resolve this first, don't we? So we'll calculate how many people are under that template. So we've got 9 under the template there. So 2 to the wound, it's a strength 6 hit. So he's done better this time, so there's the full 9. And it's just straight reanimations here. Oh, but he has got the orb activated, so he's going to re-roll these. So there's 3 gone. Okay, so second stomp, there's 5 under the marker. So what kind of stomp is it? It's a 6, they're just totally removed without any reanimation. So there's another 5. Okay, so that's, well, there's the casualty pile, that's more than 10, so you're going to need a double 1 to check morale here. So that's a fail. Now it's initiative roll off. I've got a 4, you've got a 1 that overran and wiped out, so that's a victory point for the Warlord. So that is probably Eldar's best turn this game. And it's not even ended, we still need to resolve this combat, but I think that's trivial. So after that huge bust up in the middle of the board, we'll move on to the Avatar, and finally we're able to cut down the Wraiths to 1 left, and the last one killed off that last remaining Banshee, so this looks like it's winding up here, winding down. And yeah, some points in it there for the Eldar, much needed points. Now we're going to see how many we've got. So victory points that turn for the Eldar, able to achieve psychological warfare with this 4 unit of Necrons dropping back, and we've got overwhelming firepower on the Spider going down to the D weapons, and we've got supremacy because we're able to consolidate onto that middle objective. So we've got the 2 in the backfield and that centre one, and the Necrons don't hold any, so it's D3 victory points for Eldar. Oh, just a 1, but we'll take that nonetheless in a game where we're not getting many objectives, so we'll welcome that any day. So it's on to Necron's retaliation for that, because that was a brutal round for both armies. Necron's movement phase. The Immortals have moved out of the building. This unit of warriors have rallied, and it looks about time to put the sting on this Dire Avenger unit. Don't fancy those AP4 Immortals blowing those away, and that could be a Warlord kill if everything goes right for them. So there's a point in it for them, and then it's just more devastation from the Doomsday Cannon on this side. And then we've got a few Ghost Arcs that are immobilised, but they've got okay firing position, so we're going to see what they can do in their shooting phase. It's all about picking up points for them now. And the Tomb Blades, naturally harassment is their forte, and they're going to do that again. On this time it's on the Rangers. The Immortals on this side of the table have came on from reserve, and there's looks like they're going to shoot the Warhawks in the back. They've been trying to shoot the Necrons in the back all game, and now it's their turn. The Doomsday Cannon, actually that is jinking off last turn, so that is going to be out of action for this turn, although they can do a broadside at the Flyers or the Walkers, so it's not totally out of action. So let's see how Necrons get on in their shooting phase now. So it seems like the Necrons are running out of steam a little bit here. The Ghost Arc fires up, does manage to kill a Craftwell biker, so they need a morale check, and they pass on an 8, so that's good news there. The Warlords unit on the hill takes quite a bit of pasting from the Immortals, but the Exarch steps up and he takes them on his invulnerable 4, so we'll lose 2, and that is enough for morale check still, so on a 10. So they pass, so luckily there, they didn't run off the board. That would have gave up that Warlord. And if you're feeling adventurous, I think that you could charge from there. And that's a 9-inch charge if you want to do it. They do have Relentless with the Decuser, so it's not. And the Tomb Blades managed to strip the, as you can see him in the shadows, the Ranger, just one left, and he's on a 9. I don't think that's going to be good for him, so he's going to drop back 3 inches, and he's not going to be able to rally because he's down to 1 on this side of the board. The Immortals came on, and the broadside of this, it was snapping, but the Warwalkers get away with it as well. The Eldar have completed the movement phase. The Guardians, their third squad, has finally came from reserve, and the Farseer, he's joined them, and they'll run, and they're going to shoot the Immortals, and they are doomed. I'm not just saying that, that is a psychic power, they are doomed. And the Dire Avengers, they've moved to engage the Warriors. The Imperial Knight, he's popped his head over. He's going to try his hand of killing these Tomley Boos, or should we say Tomb Blades. And the Flyer, he's actually going to try and get another shot on the Doomsday Arc. Because we're using the Death from the Skies, he's going to try and do a agility test on a 5, and he doesn't do it on a 6, so he hasn't done it, and he's not going to get to shoot at it, but sort of left ourselves exposed in the backfield. And the Wraith Guard has stepped back. They're going to shoot up onto the Ghost Arc, and this Farseer, he's joined that squad again. Okay, so onto the Eldar shooting phase. So that is the end of Eldar turn 4. We achieved recon because all the objectives have been discovered, and just casualties in the only place that the Necrons were strong anymore. Because of that, the Necrons have chosen to end the game, and it's just because there isn't a lot of units left now. So it was my feelings of the game anyway. It was quite close up until the Wraith Knight got in that combat, and and definitely changed the tide of the battle, because the Eldar just were not getting any objectives, and it looked like the Necrons were running away with it, and it just pulled back 4 victory points just in that one combat there. So that was much needed, and it seems like the Necrons just haven't got any more. This unit's been knocked out in that turn by the D weapons. The Tomb Blades were knocked out by the Wraith Knight, and a D shot up on the hill took out the Doomsday Ark. All that's left really is this immobilised Ghost Ark and a couple of bodies, a couple of Necron machines, and the Eldar are just going to run wild in the next couple of turns. So decided to end it there, and just shows you how a game can turn in a turn.